Hi and welcome to another Watch Geek video news. In this episode I want to cover two watches that will be released in about a month or so. The Bulova Devil Diver reissue and the new G-Shock Rangeman. The Bulova Devil Diver, that got its name by the very cool depth rating of 666 feet, is an early 70s diver's watch with such unique styling that it has become a bit of a sweetheart of mine. If you watch my videos, I did mention it at the end of the Bulova Snorkel review as a watch I'll hopefully be adding to my collection by the end of this year. In that video, I was referring to the vintage model that came with an in-house mechanical movement and had a reasonable diameter of 40.5 millimeters. After making that video, Bulova started a campaign on their webpage where they put 3 models from their archives to a vote, letting us, regular people, decide which one of the 3 they will reissue. One of the models was offered was the Devil Diver, so naturally I just had to vote. To my joy, it was the Devil Diver that won, and Bulova will be making a debut of that model on this year's Baselworld, so in a couple of weeks. The reissue will come in 2 versions. The first one is done in collaboration with Analog Shift, a vintage watch trading company, and it will come with an orange face and will be limited to, you guessed it, 666 pieces, with 30 of them having Analog Shift logo engraved on the caseback. Those 30 have already been sold, despite the pre-order price of a hefty $1,500. The other 636 will be introduced together with the regular production model that will come with the classic black dial and black and red bezel. This orange version is mechanical. It's powered by the Sellita SW200 movement and, believe it or not, will be sized at 40.5 millimeters, so exactly the same as the original from the 70s. Which is a welcome surprise, as 2 previous reissues by Bulova, the Moonwatch and the Snorkel I reviewed, were ruined for me because of their increase in size compared to the original models they were based on. Unfortunately, I'm still not completely relaxed and happy, as there is still no official data released on the regular production model, the black dialed version, that I really want. Although many assume it will be the same case and movement as the orange dial limited version, no one knows for sure, and I'm a bit afraid that Bulova might increase its size to 45 or something. But we'll have to wait for Baselworld and see what's what. Until then, I will keep my fingers crossed. Oh, and that version should cost around $1,000. But don't let the price scare you, as most Bulovas can be found at lower prices, and these are usually 30 to 40% lower than the initial price. Although with the Devil Diver, the price might stay high depending on the interest it gets. The second watch I want to cover will be released on April, and it's the all-new Rangeman. And when I say all new, I don't mean just the design or rearrangement of the functions. I mean a whole new level for G-Shocks, as it will include Bluetooth connectivity and GPS navigation. But don't mistake it for a regular smartwatch or competition to the Apple Watch, as it's not. You won't be able to make calls or emails with it. It's more competition for watches like the Garmin Fenix and Suunto, but with a very, very big advantage. It's self-charging, and that is what makes it revolutionary and possibly a game-changer for the industry. You see, most of today's GPS watches have a battery life between 10 to 15 hours in GPS mode, with some having the ability to extend it to 40 hours. While being used as regular watches, they have a battery life of a couple of weeks, meaning you have to remember to charge them. And from experience of people I know who wear those watches, they often forget to charge them and end up showing up to work wearing a regular watch or nothing. Now the Rangeman will offer 33 hours of GPS running time, and if you want to use it as a regular watch, you won't have to charge it at all, as it will always produce enough energy to keep running as a timekeeping device with a power reserve of 29 months if left in complete darkness. Now the best thing about it, and makes it a true survival watch, is that even when you deplete the energy completely by using it in GPS mode, if you're in the wilderness, all you have to do is wait with the watch exposed to daylight for it to charge up a bit and you can keep going. Approximately 4 hours of sunlight is enough for another hour of GPS use. This self-sustainability, in combination with its waypoint function and backtracking option, make it an excellent backup tool for hikers, military personnel, and explorers. This watch can literally save your life. The reason I'm preaching it like this is that I had a situation where I got lost in the woods with nothing but my phone, which was an iPhone 3 if I remember correctly. Yes, it was a stupid move to go unprepared, but I thought I will recognize the paths, which turned out to be impossible as autumn leaves and rains have made them invisible. I was out of coverage area, so I had no signal, and the battery died because I used it as a waypoint device while trying to reach a destination deep in the forest. Now, with the phone dead and me realizing I missed the destination, I had only a couple of hours to try to backtrack and reach my car before nightfall. And this was a very thick and hilly forest, making you see about 20 meters the most, which made backtracking very hard as everything looked the same. By pure luck and spotting a rock here and a fallen tree there that I remembered, I finally reached my car just before darkness fell. This situation made me realize how fail-prone the technology we rely on is, and that batteries die in the worst possible times. But back to the Rangeman, as it has some other aces up its sleeve. The crystal is sapphire, just like on many new Master of G watches, which will keep the scratches away. The caseback is another part of the watch that will remain scratch-free, as it's made of 2.3mm thick ceramic. The reason for using ceramic was so the watch can be charged wirelessly and also to eliminate signal blocking that happens with stainless steel. The already mentioned scratch resistance is just a bonus. The watch, being a G-Shock, will be shock and vibration resistant and 200-meter water resistant. It will feature the full ABC package, just like the last Rangeman, so altimeter, barometer, compass, and all the usual Casio functions, stopwatch, timer, alarms, and wall time. Like other Bluetooth models from Casio, if you use your phone with the watch, all the functions will be accessible and easy to set up that way, as I covered in my review of the Bluetooth Edifice watch. Also on the phone, you will be able to track your progress on a 3D map. The size is the only downside of this watch. Well, size and price, as these will cost $800 at the release. But I believe over time, that price will come down to being closer to $500. Now, with the diameter of 57.7, a lug-to-lug of 60.3, and the thickness of 20.2 millimeters, it dwarfs the old Rangeman in every way, and makes it a big no-no for me and my small wrist. If I do get a chance to spend some time with one, I will do a review and potentially the longest lasting tutorial I ever made. This completes this week's news, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe, and until the next video, bye.